We are live on Zoom, and any second we'll be live on YouTube as well. And what we're going to do today is go over some new features. So let's go ahead and we can close that out. We can start our recording here. We'll send out the recording to everyone that's attended. So we'll start that. And let's go ahead and we'll share my screen to kick us off here. We'll start off with some PowerPoints. Welcome to the October edition of the OneMob Power Play webinar. What we're going to do today is go over some of our new features, but for anyone that has not met me before, I am Rob Rashute, also known as OneMob Rob, Head of Customer Success here at OneMob, and I'll be driving the presentation today. Just a couple things before we get started. If you ever get stuck with OneMob, we've got support. You can always go to support.onemob.com. You can always ask live in our application or onemob.com with the help button on the bottom corner. Even have live chat usually activated throughout the business day. And also support at onemob.com. So if you ever get stuck, have a question, make sure you reach out to us and let us know. Also, we have a podcast, the Video Selling Podcast. It's been on hold. My podcasting partner left us, but we've gotten still good feedback on just the 10 interviews that are on there and some really good tips for OneMobbers that are all still really relevant today. Also on LinkedIn is where we probably provide the most updates. Go on, follow OneMob on LinkedIn, and you'll see a lot of the stuff that we're talking about today. We've already kind of shared with you on LinkedIn and through some of our email communications. So also, a little shout out for onemob.com/free. We are giving away OneMob for people that have been affected by COVID with unemployment. So if you do know anyone that needs some help trying to get their foot in the door with a job, we've got a couple success stories from this already. So we love to see those and help hopefully some people get some jobs. Next webinar next month, November. This is the fun one. We wait all year to do this one. It is how to send that holiday OneMob greeting card. We also include some free green screen images and videos, some holiday themed watermarks. We'll go from Thanksgiving to all the December holidays. So we'll be a little bit of a different one next month, and definitely a fun one that I think everybody could take advantage of. All right, what is on the schedule for today? Today we are going to do our new features, and this is really just going to cover the new features from the last couple months with OneMob. So we'll start off with our Zoom integration, and I'm not going to actually read through every single one of these. The biggest question is, how am I going to get through all of these? I think that's probably what you're thinking about right now, because this is a 30-minute call, and we're already, 5 minutes in? So I'm going to use this as my cheat sheet as we go through on my other screen, but we are going to attempt to get through all of these in the next kind of 25 minutes here. First one, though, I just have a slide for Zoom integration. We're on Zoom right now. I'm recording this video, and with our integration, once I finish recording this video, it will actually show up in my OneMob library, which means everybody that registered for this call is going to get this sent to them. So it's really nice because once I make the connection with this link right down here, you're able to easily grab that video recording of your meeting and send it off to your customers, because it will be in your content library shortly after your meeting ends. It takes a little bit of time to encode and for us to get that from Zoom, but doesn't really take very long. And you'll see you'll get a copy of this call later today. So really cool integration. You do have to go to the Zoom marketplace to get that installed. You might need your administrators to take advantage of that, but every video that you record to the cloud will just show up in your OneMob library. You can, delete the ones you don't want to keep, but really easy to just send out those videos, and also include, like I'm going to, a slide deck, videos we talked about on the call, any other links we talked about on a call. So it is perfect for someone like me who does and records Zoom meetings all the time, to be able to kind of easily send those recordings out and, do what we do at OneMob, include some more content. So let's move this over. I'm going to use this as my cheat sheet. And we're going to go right to number 2 here, which is sort by recent. So when you're in your content library, you might have caught that you can sort by a couple of different things. So typically it was under last updated activities or creation date. Now it's recent. So you'll probably see that this is going to be your default, but when I sort by recent, it's going to show me the last content that I've used and that's been engaged with OneMob. So you can see a couple of these I loaded this morning, and then I've got a couple of videos as well that I've loaded onto pages. So I've recently used them. So if you're typically using a PDF a lot, a video a lot, you're going to easily be able to kind of find those under your content library because they're going to be lifted up towards the top. Also have a new thumbnail editor. So for example, I'm going to click on one of my videos here. I'm going to go to edit thumbnail up here. And previously the only option was to upload a new thumbnail. So you'd have to kind of go into your video, maybe grab a new screenshot or find another image. Now I can hit edit thumbnail and I can actually use this video to generate that thumbnail from any second of this video. So maybe I want like, the phone sign up on with my hand. I can go ahead and generate that as my new thumbnail and easily replace that. If I don't like any second from that video, I can go and use my webcam. Mine's not going to open because I'm on camera right now with the Zoom meeting. But if your camera's not being used, you'll have the ability to easily just take a new snapshot that you can put into that video as your thumbnail. I can also upload. This was the only option before where you can upload that new image, so you can still do that. And now you can also pick from library, which I really love because what it's going to allow me to do is go into my library or go into my shared library and grab maybe a logo, maybe some stock imagery, whatever makes the most sense for this video. A lot of people will make kind of custom thumbnails, so it's really clear what the content is. So really cool options under edit thumbnail now that I know I use every single day. So hopefully this is something that you guys will be able to use. All right. Another new one is adding revenue impact to your links and emails. So what I can do is whether I'm creating an email or a link, I'm going to go ahead and click there. And we do have this new revenue impact option. So some of our customers out there, you guys have Salesforce integration, you have, Microsoft Dynamics CRM integrations. If you don't, it's really tough to track kind of revenue with OneMob. So we do have this option now in here. If you're prospecting, if you're reaching out, following up with the deal, please include that revenue impact because that will be bubbled up in your reporting. Your managers and your admins will see that in admin reporting. And if anything, it helps OneMob really kind of gain steam with your organization to make sure we're really showing that ROI and some of these messages that you are sending. So make sure, if it makes sense, to add that revenue impact, and we'll obviously show that in your tracking as well. All right, another new one that is kind of fun. We had a couple people request was adding your Facebook and Instagram links to OneMob. So if I go to a OneMob page, we'll just go to one of my links down here. All those pages are usually going to include, unless you decide to hide this information, your contact info. So you can see here, I've got LinkedIn and I've got Twitter. These are what we had previously, but we've added Facebook and we've added Instagram to that. So the way that I will actually get those added was I'll go to my name up here. We'll go to account. And you'll see down here, there's my LinkedIn info, there's my Twitter, and then there's my Facebook and Instagram. So this can be your personal, or this can be a company site. So for me, I don't really use Facebook and I don't really use Instagram for work. So maybe what I'll do is put in OneMob's Facebook page, or in your case, your organization's Facebook page, Twitter or Instagram, or you can use them as your personals as well. I know this was one of those things that was requested by folks. So we did what we do and we added it to OneMob for you. Okay, setting team access and notifying users. So a lot of you guys are creating content, adding, slide decks, PDFs, whatever it is to OneMob, and you're sharing that with other people at the organization. So when you're doing that, you now have the ability to grab that piece of content. And again, it's any content in your library. I just happen to click on a URL here. And what I can do is set access. And what this does is this is going to share that content within OneMob with your other OneMob users. And there's a couple ways to do that. I can just start to type in an individual user here and set team access so then they can use this URL. Or if I have my team set up in OneMob, I've got my team Lightning here. I can add them and just share with them, or I can share with the entire organization. For those of you folks with big enterprise organizations, I would definitely think twice about sharing with the whole organization, especially if you're going to use this new feature, which is this notify user button. If you're sharing to the whole organization and you have thousands of OneMob users, you're going to be emailing 1,000 people. So keep that in mind. I'm not even going to take that one off. I'm not going to share with the organization. I want to just share with my team or an individual. And now I can add some text, like something like, "Hi team, this is a link to our OneMob training center." Whatever it is, give them a quick description of it. And then if you do this notification option, we're going to email them. It's going to say that you, as the person that has set team access, has shared this content with them. It's going to give them that quick link to go straight to that content. And if you decide to put in any kind of notification or text, it's going to make them aware of what that message is for them. So a cool little new feature to help you guys kind of share content with each other and really notify you, let you know that you've got that new content available to you. By the way, Q&A, chat, all that good stuff is open. So if you do have any questions, we're flying right through this list. I'm about halfway through, so we're right on track. Okay, video editing improvements was next on the list. So we've got a couple things here. Some of this might be a little repetitive here, but what I'm going to do is just kind of show you some of the newer stuff. And some of these things were implemented in May, June, so kind of before our time frame of what we're showing here. But I do want to kind of go over a couple things again. First one, if I click on 2 to 5 videos, I'm going to see this merge video option. So let me just click on a couple more here to show you that. What I can do now is I can actually merge these videos together. It's up to 5 videos. And maybe I want myself talking first, and then I want to go into like a presentation. What I can do is just rearrange these as needed by dragging and dropping. So what we see is a lot of people do a one screen recording, but they're showing a presentation or something on their website, and they might want that video of themselves for the first 10 seconds saying, "Hey, it's Rob at OneMob. I wanted to show you this new feature." And then what we can do is merge that with the new feature video where you're actually showing the screen share. The other one that we're seeing with our sports teams is little sizzle videos. So you've got like, the Phoenix Suns, for example, always stick their little kind of Phoenix Suns sizzle 4 to 5 second video at the beginning and the end of their videos. Makes it super easy to do that. Once you save as new, all 3 of these videos become one. You still have the originals, but you'll have that new video populate that will be the merged video. So that is a little bit old, and so is this merge option. So I'm just going to click on, the edit option. So I'm just going to click on edit video here, and you're going to see that I can trim. So this is not too new anymore, but I can trim the beginning. I can go to my option here to scroll to the end and trim there. And we can also now trim in the middle. But what is new is you don't have to just drag these anymore. We have hotkeys. So I'm actually using my keyboard left and right buttons to just go like a tenth at a time here. So it makes it so you can get real precise with those cuts. The other option that we have, not just under trim, but all our editing options, that's going to be add green screen, that's going to be trim, that's going to be add watermark after you create your video. Before, you only had the option to save as new. It's a good option still. We left it there for you. What it does is it makes a copy of that original video. So if you need to, you can still always go back to that original video. But a lot of people don't want that extra video. They don't need 2 videos. They just want to save right on top of their current video. So if I did that here, I'm not going to have that original. But like I said, a lot of people don't want that original. They just want to edit out. Maybe it's the beginning or just kind of that little part at the end where the video ends and you're kind of just sitting there for a couple of seconds waiting for the button to end the video. So you can save it and it will just create or it will save this file as the edited version in this case. So I'll show you again under green screen, or more commonly used, add a watermark here. You can save or save as new. So again, make a copy, keep the new one, or sorry, keep the old one, or we can save over the original. All right, page editor improvements. Let's go into the page editor. Just going to go into this page here, which I set up and didn't really use. Kind of an older new feature. If you missed this one in the last feature update, I love this. The add second logo, we can choose existing or add new file. Just gives it that nice touch where, you know, now it's a dual branded page. So that is an old one. Let me show you some new stuff, but I always like to point that one out just to give that page a nice kind of look and feel to it. All right, so on this page, what can we do now? I can now add content, and I can add multiple pieces of content at once. Very nice for your productivity. So before, you'd have to add that content and go back and add another one. Now what I can do is I can actually just add all my content that I want to at once. So super productive here to make these really nice pages. Do be careful though, if you do filter, watch what happens. I'm going to filter. This is a URL, so I'm going to filter to my documents. It doesn't still have that one selected. It does have to be still on this pane to select them. So just keep in mind, if you are using content types or tags, you might have to go back and keep adding those the old-fashioned way. All right, what else do we have? We have a new button feature. Yay. All right, so this is a good one, actually. I can now have a button with SMS, and that is text messaging. So basically, I can put in my phone number and now say, text me, and now people will have the option to text me. Why is this important? A lot of people view these on their mobile phone. So you can also put a call me button on there, but this is a good way to get them to text you back. A lot of people are more, well, texts get read more often. I know that doesn't mean much for someone texting you back, but hey, try it out. If you've never tried to have someone text you, if you're okay with putting your cell phone number out there like that, I bet you can get responses. So I know a lot of people are doing trivia or just trying to solicit responses from people. Try, instead of having them call you or even reply or even email you, try to have them text you. Good suggestion from one of our customers that we did add. Another cool feature with the pages is if I go, I'm going to go to my preview here. If I use reply, we always have the option where your customers can reply with a video. So they can upload a new video or they can record a video. And typically that would sit in your tracking and you could go save that video if you wished. But now what we'll do is if they respond with a video, we will stick that video directly in your content library. So maybe it's a customer you're getting testimonials from and you want to make a page of testimonials. Maybe it is a internal pitch contest where you're collecting video pitches. Now, when you get those video pitches, they are all going to show up back in your content library over here. So you'll see them here and you'll be able to just click those videos. And if you want to, make a link in a page that hosts all those videos all in one spot. And by the way, going back to my Zoom integration, really easy way to find those Zooms is we will automatically put in an integration in a Zoom tag. So you'll see your Zoom meetings. And I wasn't joking. I do use that Zoom feature quite often now that we have it. So now I can go find that Zoom video and send it out. All right, Vimeo support on pages and YouTube support. All right, so back to pages here. What this is going back to my page. I now have the ability to add a Vimeo URL here. So we didn't really support that in the past. What I can do is go to Vimeo, find my video, go back to OneMob, go to the URL, and now we'll save that Vimeo video here. So you can see it does take the description, it takes the thumbnail. I can change the description still if I want to, but really the point of this is we do support Vimeo now. And since we're live on YouTube, hello, I don't know if anyone's watching. We don't stream that often to YouTube. I don't think we've ever streamed to YouTube. We've done it to Facebook a couple times. So welcome to any YouTube viewers. But as you guys probably already know, I can stick YouTube videos in here all day long. What you could not do was stick a channel page in here. So this is our OneMob channel page. Hey, by the way, go check it out. We do load a lot of different videos in there, and we're noticing that you guys are starting to go check those out. So if you haven't looked us up on OneMob on YouTube, go check it out and shoot us a subscription. And I promise we'll keep chalking up some really good videos in there. All right, so you can see I've got my YouTube link here. It's to the channel, not to a page. And that's going to show up here right there. And what they do usually is we take the logo from your Google/YouTube account. And if I wanted to, I could edit that as well. Okay, so that's Vimeo, that's YouTube. The rest we're going to get into admin stuff. So hopefully we have some admins on the call. If you're not an admin, a lot of this might not be relevant to you. You're free to go. Thanks for coming anyway. So admins, we relocated the admin panel. Before you had to go up to your name here and you'd see an admin option. Now you're going to see it right here at the top of your list. You can see I have an admin panel, and I can go in here and look at my admin functions. So a lot of people go into branding, a lot of people go into users and do some user reports, email reports, stuff like that, manage the contracts, all kinds of stuff. You can now do that. It's just in a different spot. We also have the ability now for admins to pull different types of reports. So user reports you've done before. Now you can do content reports. So I can set my team, or for everyone, I can set my date range. And now I can pull a list of the content that's getting the most activity during that time frame. So it's always good to know that what content is doing the best for you. We also have the option to add a watermark. So this is a little bit further down the list, but we might as well go to it right now. But if I go to branding now, when you add a watermark, traditionally what we would do is if you load your logo, your regular logo file as a PNG, of course, because it's got to have a transparent background, we're going to push it up to the top left-hand corner. So you see that all the time with OneMob videos. You probably have a couple of those loaded into your environment. Now what happens if you use your logo? I don't know if I have a good logo to throw on there. Let's see what I have here. There, I do have this one still. So now what happens if I load my logo? I always like to make it really tight, by the way, with the cropping, because you will leave kind of that white space around your logo, which will just make your logo kind of look smaller. So I'll kind of do a little crop here. We'll save, we'll upload, and now it's going to give me the option. It's going to say, hey, do you want it in the bottom left? Do you want it in the bottom right? Or do you want it in the top right, or that traditional top left? So I can easily load this. We'll go bottom right. Load that watermark. You're going to see it pop up here any second, and there it is. So I can see that logo is in a different spot. So just a nice little customization option. And by the way, you can still do things like this bottom overlay and custom loads through our generate custom. It just has to be a couple specific dimensions, 1280 by 720, with obviously a transparent background saved as a PNG. All right, so that is our watermark upload option. And then finally, for managers, and we have kind of two different admin roles now. You can be a group admin that has control of all of this, but not everyone needs that kind of access. So what you can do is when you're setting up your teams in OneMob, and if you haven't set up teams in OneMob, set up teams in OneMob. It's going to make your OneMob experience, life, sharing content, getting reporting. It's just going to make things better in OneMob. So try it out. But what you can do is go create a team. You can add members to it, copy and paste their emails in. It's only going to pull people that are in your OneMob environment. So they have to have that OneMob license. And then what you can do is assign a manager. So you can see I'm my manager of my Team Lightning team here. And now because I'm a manager, that's going to open up this manager tag for me, or I should say panel for me. And if I click on that, you can see that I have a kind of a quick view of my team's performance. And what this first one is really a content performance review. So what I can do is I'll sort this. Let's do October 1st to 15th, the last 2 weeks. And what I'll see here is my videos that are getting the most interaction. These are my top 10 items. So how to record using OneScreen, not a surprise. How to, a lot of how-to videos that I've created are in that top list, which is not surprising. So I get a nice kind of view here. And by the way, this isn't just my videos. This is everyone on that team. And if you have multiple teams, which a lot of managers do, you can kind of change that up. I do have another team here listed. Looks like it's probably the same people in that team. But you will be able to sort by team and even contract. I know there's not too many that have multiple contracts on one MOP, but you do have that flexibility. So soon we'll have an export button here, but also let's take a look at how individuals are performing on the team. Let's go to user performance. Again, what I want to do is set my date parameters. It defaults to basically the last 90 days. Make sure I'm looking at the right team. I'll make sure I look at the right contract, and these are the folks on my team. You can see total content created, videos, emails sent, links sent. And what we'll be doing is adding more to this. This is really phase one of the manager tab. We'll be adding some export options, some click-through options. So really exciting new views for managers. And that is part of what I wanted to show you today. And I think that is everything I wanted to show you today. So you guys didn't think I was going to get through that list, but I've done this for long enough to know. And I did not do a practice run. I didn't have time to this week. So a little proud of myself. Open it up for questions for the next 2 minutes. If you guys have any, I see it's a small crowd, but thank you guys for coming. If you don't mind, go ahead and register. I've kind of got the link hidden here for our next webinar. This one's going to be the fun one. So don't miss this one where we show you how to kind of put out a cool, fun message to your customers by sending a holiday greeting. Last year, and we'll probably use some of the same ones last year, we made a green screen image where it's like snowy backgrounds and, you know, happy holiday watermarks. So we will stock you up with those kinds of things as follow up for this. And we'll show you how to kind of put it all together and send your customers a nice kind of greeting message, wishing them a happy holidays and a happy new year. All right, dead silence. So I'm going to stop the recording here. And we are going to say goodbye to YouTube. I'm glad we made it on YouTube.